Good morning, welcome to the Slugma Solo Run on the RetroBrown channel. I'm going to explain to you guys over the course of this video why this guy is actually a really good Pokemon to go against Red with. Yeah, a Slugma of all things will actually be a great Pokemon to take on Red. So let's get on with the run. It's got a base stat total of 250, which as a first stage evolution is kind of expected. 40 in HP attack and defense and special defense. A whopping 70 in attack, which is actually more than I ever thought it did, and then a measly 20 speed. What is it with Johto Pokemon and having quite low base speed? We also don't really get a great starting moveset as well. We only start off with the move Smog, which is 20 base power, 70% accuracy. It's an awful move to have. But at level 8, we are going to get the move Ember, so we do get a stab move very early on. And you might be looking at that level up moveset and the TM moveset, and you might know where I'm going to be going with this later on in the video. But for now, let's progress on with this and see how we do. Slugma is a terrible early game Pokemon. Yeah, I know, this cute little slug here, it is really a bad early game Pokemon. We just can't deal that much damage against even the weak Pidgeys and Sentrets that you see. And we're just going to progress straight over to Mr. Pokemon's house, get the egg and get this run started. If we are going to level up, we are going to go against the bug types up on the next route, just because they can't deal out much damage to us. Yes, we don't have the greatest defenses in special and normal defense, but either way, Smog is an awful move. Like, if we're going against Metapods, we do get the chance to poison them, and that's really the only way we're going to take them down pretty quickly. But considering there's a lot of PP that there is on the move Harden, by the time that we've taken it down with poison damage, yeah, it won't have a chance to struggle actually dealing damage against us. So Metapods are a great Pokemon to go against, just to make sure that we can actually get some experience and actually get to level 8 where we can learn Ember before the first gym. So once we've picked up the Pokedex from Professor Oak, we've got some rest in Mr. Pokemon's house. It's kind of weird looking back now that this grown man just lets a 11-year-old kid stay at his house to rest. Kind of sus, but I'm not going to ruin these child games for us. Anyway, heading back over to Cherry Grove. What is the first town called? I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, we're going to head ourselves back over to New Barktown, but before that we need to go against the rival. So here we will see how we do. He's going to have a water type Totodile to deal with. And even at level 6, 7 here going into this, we still might not be able to do this at like the base level really. Scratch does us way too much damage. We get it poisoned on the second turn. And of course the berry does use itself up here. Thankfully this fight it's not mandatory to win. You can lose this fight and still progress. But yeah, it doesn't really bode well there that we've already lost that first fight. So who is our rival going to be for today? Well, let's type it out and let's see what we get. So it's going to be Benjamin Glad? Yeah, Benjamin Glad, I think it is. Let me just look back at my notes. Yeah, we're just going to go with Glad because we only have a character limit to work with. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the channel. So now we have started off the run, we actually are going to humour the dude here and let him show us how to catch a Pokemon. But we don't really need his help because we're using a solo run. And from here we can progress on and actually get over to Violet City. We are going to go up Sprout Tower because we want the experience, and at this point in the run we have also reached level 10 from a bit of training, and we've got the move Ember, which means all these Bellsprouts are incredibly easy for us. It's just little cannon fodder for us, getting that experience, which is very nice at this point. And we head up to the top of Sprout Tower to go against the stage. So from here we can get our final bit of experience before going against Falkner, and we're going into this fight around level 12. We'll come out of this about level 13, but we still have the gym trainers to contend with. They're not going to be too much of a problem though. That Stab Ember is just helping us so much here. And this really puts in perspective how good the fire type is in Johto. It's just a pity that there's not many fire type Pokemon to work with. Usually, up until a large portion of the game, you really only have your starter, like if you chose Cyndaquil. But yeah, let's see how we do against Falkner anyway. He is going to use Mud Slap because it's super effective, but 2 Embers will take down the Pidgey. And it'll be about maybe 2 or 3 Embers take down the Pidgeotto, but that Mud Slap is really doing some damage. And we're down at 4 HP. Thankfully, we pulled through and and use Ember to get the win, and that is a first time win against Faulkner. Reason why I say the fire type is also really good in this generation, well, the second gym leader is Bugsy. You've got an ice type gym leader later on in Price. You've got a steel type gym leader. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of good matchups here. This means we can go through the next cave, and then progress on to Azalea Town with Slowpoke Well. The rockets are good fodder for experience because we are going to need it, especially with the Azalea Town rival coming up. And I'm not really worrying about Bugsy, if I'm being honest. Bugsy is going to be pretty comfortable to take down. We've also learnt the move Rock Throw at level 15 as well, just to give us another move to work with that's super effective against bugs. We don't have Stab on it though, because it only gets the rock type when it evolves into Magcargo. So we are just a pure mono fire type going into this. Ember though, more than enough to deal with all of the rockets that we need to deal with. And it's just easy experience here. But we are going to need as much experience as we can. That Azalea Town rival, I think he is genuinely the hardest rival fight in the entire game. Just for the fact that, like, at this point, there's not all too much experience to work with, and he's got a level 16 starter that's evolved. So yeah. The final rocket here, not a problem for us whatsoever. We do get poisoned early on, but it's just not enough to help take us down. Slugma gets the win, and we can progress on to the gym challenge here. So Bugsy's gym is another great place for us to get experience, but we're just going to skip straight to Bugsy, and we'll get our second badge. So we're going to use Ember against the Metapod, and it's a one-shot, so he sends out Cypher straight away, and we go for Rock Throw. It's 4 times effective, and we use an Ember just to finish it off. Kakuna's out last, and there's not really too much it can do. It doesn't outspeed us, and we get the win incredibly easy. That's all you need to do. We do also have the move Mud Slap as well, just for some ground type coverage, and even though we're not too far into the game, we do have decent moves to work with. Ember or Mud Slap is perfect for the Ghastly. We can use Rock Throw if we really need to, and then Croconaw comes out, and this is the worry. Water Gun does 20 damage on us, and Rock Throw barely even scratches it. So at level 20, we take a loss. What level do we have to beat him? Well, I went up to level 24. Yes, level 24 was the first time that we could actually one-shot that Ghastly, and thankfully as well, we got better luck against the Croconaw. Ember was just doing tons more damage because it's a physical attacker. Getting that burn was a lot more imperative than actually trying to use Mud Slap and lower its accuracy. Zubat does get us down to 6 HP, 1 HP. Wow, that was lucky. And there we go. We managed to get the win at level 24. But that's much higher than I was expecting to be. And considering I'm not imagining this run will be a quick one, I am going to spend some time in the casino. That way we can actually get some coins, and we can also go and pick up the move Fire Blast. Just because it's far more powerful than Ember, it's 3 times as powerful, but it does have that 85% accuracy, which could be a problem. Either way, let's see if it makes a difference against Whitney. Going against Whitney, we are going into this level 27 because of all the leveling we did at Azalea Town. We've got 3 levels up on the mandatory fights leading up to this. Fire Blast just does tons of damage on Miltank, and we also picked up Return to just chip away at it at the end. So it's a first time win, but we are massively over level for this point in the game. And that might just be what we need to do to get through some of these fights a bit quicker. Heading on to Equity, we go against all the Kimono Girls. It's extra experience, and of course we do get the Surf HM after doing it. They're not a problem for us whatsoever. We're nearly twice their level, and we can pick up HMO free Surf. I also decided, you know what, once we've healed up, should I go to Burnt Tower and go against the rival for some more experience? But this is a difficult fight as well. More for the fact of what move gets used straight away. And if you're very familiar with this channel, this seems to happen quite a lot. Straight away they use Curse, and we miss Fire Blast constantly and get paralysed. So yeah, they even use Spite to get rid of all of our Fire Blast PP, and we got nothing really to work with against the Haunter. So with that, I'm going to go to Morty's gym, and we'll take down Morty first. Hopefully we might get better luck, but yeah, that rival fight was just not fun. Fog Badge is on the line here, and hopefully we can outspeed, but we can't outspeed the Ghastlies. It's a very quick Pokemon line, so our 20 base speed is not really going to help us out. But thankfully, we do not get cursed. And Fire Blast is one-shotting his entire team. So this is actually looking very good for us. We actually take down Morty without losing a single point of HP. But in hindsight, looking at that, we are level 34, so it's not as impressive as it should be. Let's see if we can beat the rival now we've leveled up a bit. So, starting off against him, we are 14 levels above his Pokemon, and we do not get paralyzed first turn, and he doesn't use Curse. That's a great scenario to be in. Fire Blast does tons of damage against Croconaw and is a 2-shot to take it down. Next up is Zubat. We're just going to go for Rock Throw here, super effective. And Magnemite finally goes down to a Fire Blast. So, when you get the right look at the start, it's actually an easy fight. And that means we can now progress on to Olivine, start the Lighthouse side quest, and progress over to Cianwood. Now, Cianwood in itself is going to be a difficult gym, purely down to the fact that our defenses aren't great, our speed is atrocious, and Chuck's got a Poliwrath. Yeah, it knows Surf. This is going to be a tough one. Let's see how we do anyway. So the Primeape is going to be a problem if it uses a powerful move. Thankfully it goes for Leah first and then just starts hitting us with Fury Swipes. We have leveled up to level 39, so we have learned Flamethrower at level 36, but that 9 level difference is just still not enough to take down his Pokemon. We go up to level 38 and we start off using Amnesia. Great move to pick up, and we're going to have to keep that on our moveset for the rest of this run. Thankfully, the Poliwrath, because we've used Amnesia, will now go for Dynamic Punch, because Surfs will do very little damage. That gives us enough to work with, because Dynamic Punch has got very bad accuracy, to get a few Fire Blasts in and get the win. We can pick up the HMO2 Fly from his wife just outside, as she fat shames him. And then we progress back over to Olivine City to take on the next gym. Reason why we're taking this one before going over to Mahogany Town? Well, it's the Steel-type gym. We're a Fire-type. This is going to be an easy matchup for us. Jasmine sends out a Magnemite, and we actually outspeed a level 39. That's a pretty good scenario, and we also outspeed the Steelix, which is only 4 levels below us. So this is a good, easy gym for us. We don't even level up at the end. But there we go. That's 6 gym badges down, and we've only just breached level 40 going into the 7th gym. But before the 7th gym, of course, we do have the Rocket side quest, so we need to head to the Lake of Rage and take down the Red Gyarados here. You can't run away from this fight, you have to take it out, otherwise it just stays on the map and Lance does not appear. Worst thing about this as well, he has Dragon Rage, so you got to take it down quick, and thankfully a Fire Blast did that. That means that Lance will now spawn and we can start off the Rocket side quest in Mahogany Town. We watch him Hyper Beam this guy, as traditional on this channel with these videos, and progress down to go against the Executives. The Executives are not going to be too much of a problem for us because of the level curve in this game. It means we're at level 42 and they've still got Pokemon in their early 20s, or mid 20s at level 25 with Murkrow. But Murkrow's defenses are pretty bad, so return will just do big damage on it. Gloober's out last and we'll just Flamethrower for the win. Flamethrower is such a good move. You might be wondering, why would I get rid of Fire Blast when it's more powerful than Flamethrower? I like 100% accuracy moves. That's it. Like, why wouldn't I use them? Price is up 7th, and we'll see if we can get his badge pretty quickly. So he is the Ice-type gym leader, and we've got Rock-type moves and Fire-type moves to work with. In hindsight, Rock Slide's probably a better move to be using here than Flamethrower, but we do have better special attack and we do have stab on it, so it probably will just do more in general. Flamethrower at least is doing over half damage on Dugong and puts him into rest mode, meaning we've got more than enough to work with to take him down. And bringing us into Piloswine, one Flamethrower, one-shot it down. That's an easy 7th badge, just a bit of back and forth, but either way it's an easy badge for us. That's 7 badges, and we can finish off the Rocket side quest here. Big part of the Rocket side quest, of course, is going to be the rival on the Underground. It's a pretty decent fight. Like, I like this fight. The fact that you do it in the Underground as well. Glacier sends out his Golbat first, and Flamethrower is a one-shot. That brings out Feraligatr, and Water Gun is still doing pretty good damage on us. Flamethrower can't even do half, and we're level 46 here. So we will fall to Water Gun. So we're even going to have to level up, or we might have to go and get another Fire Blast TM. Well, I went up to level 48 because that's a bit quicker than going and get more coins. And we do get through the Feraligatr this time because it goes... Oh, man, are we going to take it down? We do get a critical hit, so we've got 33 HP to work with. And from there, Flamethrower just one-shots everything. Magnemite's weak to fire. And finally up is Sneasel, which is also weak to fire. It does get us down to 20 HP. Thankfully, it just doesn't have much behind it. Fitness Act didn't do too much. We get the win. And we progress to the top of the radio tower to take on, I think it's Archer. No one's ever said in the comments whether this definitely is Archer or not. I'm not a big fan of Heart Gold, Soul Silver in all honesty, and I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure that one is Archer. But yeah, he goes down pretty quickly thanks to Flamethrowers and Rock Slides. And we can finally head off to the 8th gym. Which I'm worried about, because for a fact, most of the Pokemon have Water-type moves. Let's see how we do. Claire is a hard trainer. For the 8th gym leader having a lot of super effective moves against us, yeah, that's just one Surf that's just done that amount of damage. Kingdra just takes us out from there. Now, I tried this fight a lot of times at a lot of different levels, and it was only when we got to higher levels, and yeah, you're reading that right, we had to go to level 69 to make this fight work. We had to start off using Amnesia against the first Dragonair so we can actually tank a Surf or two, and that would mean they would start using Hyper Beam. Or Dragon Breath, one of the two. From here though, that Kingdra decides it just doesn't want to use Surf anymore because our special defense has just been raised that high. Meaning we can get through the next two Pokemon by not taking all too much damage, but I am disgusted by that level. Like, level 69 to beat the 8th gym. And I was saying at the start of this video that Slugma is a good late game Pokemon. Well, that's going to entirely depend on whether you get paralyzed in this fight. Thankfully, we do get 2 Amnesias set up before we get paralyzed, meaning we haven't taken as much damage going into the Dragon, the Kingdra, sorry. From here, we do take a lot of damage from Hyper Beam. We've got 34 HP to work with going into the Dragonair. And oh, Slam, 19 damage. Return is taking him out in one hit. We need to... Thank God it went for Slam and it didn't do all too much. We managed to hang on with 4 HP. But that's level 69 just to beat Claire, and we were barely hanging on. Not good. Let's see how we do against the final rival fight in Victory Road. All we have left after this fight is the Elite Four, and of course the post-game. But this fight at level 70, absolute whitewash. This is so easy at this level. Even though we take a hell of a lot of damage from Slash there, wow. That took off way more damage than I thought it was going to. And strangely enough, we still don't outspeed most of our Pokemon, even though we're twice their level. Crazy how bad our base speed is. Thankfully, we would have lost this if Kadabra had not gone for Future Sight there, because we can outspeed the Magneton, and that means Future Sight didn't hit. Benjamin Glatt, thank you for being the rival for today, and let's see how we do against the League. Will is up first, the Psychic type Elite Four member, and straight away we get confused, but we shake it off for Flamethrower, and it's a one-shot. This is why I wanted Flamethrower, it's just a reliable move. The Slowbro decides to use our tactics against us and goes for Amnesia, but we're not going to let it. We're going to Flamethrower our way through this fight, as and where possible, and we're going into the Jinx at level 71. Flamethrower will take it down in one because it's a nice Psychic type, straight easy win for us, and Flamethrower takes out the Executor. Very easy first win, we barely took a third damage there, and that means we progress on to Koga. This again is going to be another easy fight for us. Fire is weak, is strong against 3/5 of his team, it's quite effective against Fortress. It's only really the Muck and the Crobat we need to worry about really. And I'm really excited for when a Crobat run comes about because I've not done that yet. And we've completed the Zubat and Golbat run in Gen 1. Feel free to go and check out for those videos if you haven't seen them before. They're actually pretty good Pokemon. I like the Zubat line. Anyway, Venomoth is out last. It goes for Toxic, but it's too little too late, and a final Flamethrower gets us the win. We can now progress on to Koga. To Bruno. Yes, Bruno is the third Elite Four member, and as long as we can take him out in one, we should be fine. A lot of these Pokemon are quite slow, meaning, yeah, we're nearly twice the level, but we can still do massive damage on him. Rock Slide will do super effective damage, and annoyingly goes for a max potion. If we get hit by too many Rock Slides, we will lose, but thankfully he goes into Hitmonlee. High Jump Kick does decent damage, but he goes down to a Flamethrower. And the last Pokemon out, of course, is Hitmonchan, who will probably just go for Mach Punch, which won't do all too much. But it will if we miss our Rock Slides. We're at 21 HP, and you know what? Bruno was actually a decent challenge there. Karen's up next before the Elite Four champion, and there's not all too much she's got that can really be a problem for us. Umbreon's got Sand Attack, which is annoying. Gengar's got Lick, so it could paralyze. It's got Curse as well, but we take them down pretty quickly. Murkrow's up next and falls straight to a Flamethrower. Now comes the big problem, that's the Houndoom. Yes, the Houndoom is the bigger problem because we have to rely on Rock Slide. We do get hit by a big crunch, bringing us into the Vileplume, which we miss our Flamethrower twice, and Petal Dance nearly takes us down. Thankfully, we pulled through, and that's every Elite Four member so far done on the first try. Can we do that with Lance? Lance, the flying type master here, starts off with Gyarados, which is a terrible matchup for us. Good thing though, he always starts the very first turn by setting up Rain Dance. No idea why he went for Hyper Beam there instead of using a Hydro Pump, which would have one-shot us. I haven't even set up Amnesias at this point. But we've got 34 HP to work with and 4 Pokemon left. This ain't going our way. So what we try different? Well, we go up to level 77. Still not the highest I've had to beat the league, but this is still pretty high. What we wanted on the first turn though was that flinch chance. That means he doesn't set up Rain Dance till his second turn. And also Rock Slide at this level will one-shot most of his Pokemon. We do annoyingly get paralyzed, and it's not a one-shot for Rock Slide on the level 47 Dragonites, meaning it won't be the same on the level 50, and we are taking a lot of damage from Hyper Beams. Can we do this at this level with this moveset? Charizard uses Flamethrower, which really just tickles us a bit, but that tickle is more than enough to give the final Dragonite time for an Outrage. Do we need to go up even higher? I'm going to try this one more time, level 78 here. We get the flinch, we Rock Slide it into the ground. Level 78, we can actually outspeed that Gyarados. We can take down the Aerodactyl in one. We don't outspeed the Dragonites, which is annoying, but we can still do big damage on them. We've also taught ourselves Rest this time. We've got rid of Flamethrower because there's not many chances for us to use it after this point. But using Rest, we can actually stall out the uses of Hyper Beam and force them into using different moves. We can get rid of the paralysis from Thunder Wave. This is just a battle of attrition. Like, we are waiting for them to run out of PP usage on their moves, because we can tank Hyper Beams, we can tank the rest of their moves, but we can't do it consecutively over different Pokemon. So once we take down one Dragonite, the cycle starts again. We need to rest back up after using Rock Slide. And from here, we're going to, barely tank a Hyper Beam there. Thankfully with Hyper Beam, the recharge turns, it means we'll wake up quicker, and we can go into the next Pokemon with as much HP as possible. Slash does really good damage against us, and this is not a good range to be in for the final Dragonite. We go straight for Rest, and thankfully he goes for Safeguard of all things. Outrage is doing about 52 damage per hit, which means by the time that we wake up, we can go straight back to sleep and start this cycle all over again. He's going to confuse himself pretty quickly after Safeguard goes down, but we need to wake up and rest again. He started hitting himself in confusion damage there a couple of times, meaning when we finally wake up the next turn, we're going to have more HP to work with, so we can actually use Rock Slide and then use Rest again straight away. We go for the return just to do a bit of chip damage, and the Hyper Beam misses, meaning Rock Slide can get us the win. Hard fought fight. We're very over leveled, but this is a first stage evolution Pokemon with 250 base stats. So yeah, Slugma has beaten the Elite Four in the level 70s. What time did we finish on? We finished at level 78 at 7 hours 32 in-game minutes, which isn't quick. But you gotta remember, this is a first base stage evolution Pokemon with bad base speed. But now here comes the fun part. I said this is a great Pokemon to take on Red and Blue. Let me show you how we're gonna do that. Well, I'm not really going to show you in this fight in all. Well, actually, I might as well show you. We're going to use the Curse and Amnesia setup. Amnesia gets up our special defense, which means that we're going to take very little damage from one type of attack, and then we're going to use Curse to increase our attack and defense, meaning this thing becomes a defensive behemoth. And you can just see there, Wing Attack is doing barely any more damage. We've got Rest there to get back full HP. If you've got Amnesia and Curse, you can make a broken Pokemon even at a base level Pokemon. We've even got we're going against Rhydon with Return, and we're dealing out nearly its full amount of HP. That's with full Curse setup, by the way, because our base attack is pretty bad. But still, there is not much that Blue can do once we have set up to take down this little lava slug. Not even Alakazam can take us down. Arcanide's up next. Extreme Speed does barely anything. And finally, Executor, it in vain goes for an Egg Bomb. The animation for that's pretty cool. And we go up to level 84, beating the 8th gym leader in Kanto. That means there's only one challenge left, and this strategy, you're going to see a first time win here. This is a genuine first time win with Slugma because of this strategy. You smash the Amnesias up straight away because Pikachu will use a lot of special attacks like Thunder and Thunderbolt. Now it's doing barely anything. It doesn't even matter if it paralyzes us. We can use Curse to our heart's content and get our attack and defense straight up to 6+. Once we have fully set up and rested up to full HP, the only thing we need to worry about is the Blastoise coming up next after Pikachu. Once we've got all of that set up, which we keep having to do because that Pikachu likes to use Charm a bit, which is kind of annoying. But once we've fully set up, we're 153 HP going into the, I don't know, Espeon next. Maybe he's going for a little bit more chip damage, but that's not really going to worry us too much. Blastoise is out next, and thankfully it went for Rain Dance over Hydro Pump. It hung on with barely any HP, but we managed to tank it because of the Amnesia setup. This is why this strategy is just, it's busted. But considering there's no badge boost glitch in Gen 2, I feel like it's very fair to use this. The only move that is still banned is Double Team. But yeah, this strategy is busted, and even a little lava slug like this, a base form, can just pretty much one-shot Red on its own. It's not even in the mid-level at level 80s there. Didn't even get up to level 90. This is a good Pokemon for going against Red. Don't sleep on it. There's some of these overlooked Pokemon are actually really good in the right circumstances. We finished at 9 hours 26 at level 84, and that was a fun run. I definitely recommend that one. Let's see what we're going to get next. We haven't got too many Pokemon left on Johto. First up is Togetic. We haven't done anything from this line since Togepi very early on in the channel. Possibly. Donphan's up second. I did not enjoy the Phanpy run, if I'm being honest, so it really doesn't make me want to do that. Last up is... I'm doing this to myself, aren't I? Let's do the Chikorita run. Let's get out of the way. The quicker we get them out of the way, the quicker I can get onto the better Pokemon. If you got to this point in the video, please like and subscribe, you legends. We'll see you next week.